Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be doing a market update. I think it's a perfect time to be doing this. I mean, we have Destined Rivals coming around the corner, at least pre orders coming around the corner. Journey Together is right around the corner, about a week and a half away. And from what I know, people are going to be getting it pretty early, probably a week before the actual official release date. And there's just a lot of things that are going to be happening, things that are going to be changing, and things that already are changing. And I think it's a perfect time for a market update and the first one on this channel. So let's do it. All right, guys. So with the first thing I'm going to start with is temporal forces. The reason why is because there's always something that people aren't looking at. And one thing that I pointed out in one of my other videos is temporal forces. No one is looking at temporal forces. It was the last booster box to leave the Pokemon Center website for absolutely no reason because it's an amazing set. It's got a ton of IRs and SIRs. Um, it's a beautiful set. I don't understand why, but it was actually already at 174 before. I don't understand how people like price these things out, but the already market was already at 174 before it was off of the Pokemon Center website where you could just get it at retail price. So I don't know how that worked, but since then it's gone up. It's definitely gone up, and I assume that even if it takes a dip, this set's just gonna keep climbing. Like, I don't see this set ever taking a huge dip. It's gonna do what the market does, which is gonna give you some trends like this. It'll go up, down, up, down. But I see it, even if it takes a big dip, I see it going right back up. Um, it's just a great set. You look inside the set, there's a lot of beautiful cards in there. There's a lot of good cards in there. A lot of desired cards as well. That's another thing to think about. It's just not that they're just beautiful, people desire them. That's just the first thing I wanted to go off of, especially just because, like I said, it was something that no one's looking at. No, not no one, but most people just aren't looking at temporal forces. I don't understand why. But I went ahead and got a few booster boxes from there. I didn't go crazy, clearly. You do what you can afford. And I went ahead and just got two boxes. But I thought that was good for me. Just to at least have something from it, because I don't want to regret it later on. All right, so now we're gonna move on to Fusion Strike. And there's something that I feel like you guys are gonna notice throughout all the sets that I go through today. I got a lot of things here set up, but I don't know how much we're really gonna go through. I just don't wanna just do too much, like a crazy long video. So I really, really just want you guys to see what's happening in the market. So we're gonna start with this. The Fusion Strike booster box, it keeps going on the rise. There's a little dip, like a lot of the booster boxes are also doing this little dip, but they're still on an uptrend. This little dip doesn't mean that it's on a downtrend. It's still in an uptrend. So we're still in a very bullish market, clearly. But if you look at the singles for some reason, they're like doing the opposite. This is happening with a lot of the sets. They're doing the opposite. Not every set, because every set is almost like its own like entity. But it's doing this in many of these sets. For some reason, the top hit is dropping, and this is the thing about playing around in the singles market. It's so volatile. Like 1 second, it's flying up like it was before, right? Look at the 3 months. Look at this crazy uptrend it had right here. But then it hit its high, and now it's going straight down. So it's something to be aware of. The singles market is a very volatile market. It's not stable. It's not as stable as the booster boxes, at least. Uh, I was temporal silver tempest. Where we at here? The Lugia, same thing. Hop hitting the set. It went to its high, and then it just started dipping down. And it's not too much. This dip is not too much. It's a 20. I mean, $20 is not. It's okay for a $300 card. That's not bad. But it's something similar. You just for some reason you're just gonna keep seeing it here. It's something to be aware of, man. Something that if you're investing, just to look at like what to invest into. There's some things that just hold better than others, and the booster boxes just prove over and over again that even with this dip here, I don't know why this dip happened here. Like it's so hard to determine why these things happen. But the why people make choices like these to alter the market because it's people doing it. You sell or you buy, whatever happens, or you don't. It's us that affect this. So why we do it as the market, I don't know why exactly why that happens. But same thing as the Fusion Strike, straight straight up, just keeps going up. The booster boxes are just they're just a stable investment, and something that it's what you want. It's so hard to feel comfortable with with some kind of an investment that you have, whether it's Pokemon cards or some kind of stock or crypto to be so volatile. But when you have something like these booster boxes that just keep trending upward, eventually they will trend down, but they will continue to go upward. These they're just out of print now. They're just going to become more scarce. Like the more people open cards and just open any product, there's just going to be more scarcity. Is just going to increase, and it's just going to increase the value on these things. And the singles aren't probably not going to do the same. See, so that's why I said some of these singles are doing it. The Charizard seems like it didn't get the appreciation that it deserved, and it's now starting to get it. So now people are starting to move on this lower valued uh hit on the set, and clearly they can definitely affect the market easily with a card like this. You're not gonna find nobody buying 20 Gengars out of Fusion. They're just not gonna do that. But maybe a card like this, they can find a few people to make some plays. So also watch out. You also should watch out. But it seems like this card is finally getting some attention, as it should. It's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. Charizard, Venusaur. That's a sick card. But once again, it's a volatile thing to be investing into. So be careful with that. Lost Origin booster box, same thing. It hit a high, took a little dip, like I said before. Like I said before, the booster boxes may take a dip. They may, but then they'll still keep trending upward. They'll keep trending upward, and now it's at another high. It's just gonna keep doing the same thing. They'll dip down, go back up. Even if we run into a completely dry bear market, it'll take a dip. Either way, it's still gonna be the same thing. They're gonna keep opening product. Scarcity is gonna go up. The product there's gonna be less product out there, and it's just gonna become rarer and rarer, and the value will just keep increasing. And we'll just keep seeing that over time with every single set, every booster box, even the worst sets. They're gonna do it. You didn't like Shrouded Fable, it's gonna do it. Eventually, it will. Uh, Same thing here. Look at the card. Card got to its high, and now it seems to be taking a dip. This is a decent dip too. You see it up top. You can see yourself. It says 40.47%. From there, you can see where it dropped to 31. So it dropped almost a whole 10%. It's not doing what the box is doing. These are way more volatile. Like it would stress me if I was actually investing into singles to invest. Yeah, it would stress me. And I can understand why people do get stressed, but those are also like short time plays, you know? Be careful for those. I'm not comfortable putting my money into something like that. Now, Surging Sparks. We're at Surging Sparks now, and clearly there's a bit of a dip in this specific booster box. It's dipping downward. It's not much, nothing crazy is happening, but there's a lot of talk of reprints. And when you have YouTubers that are technically influencers, they influence the market. So once you have anyone from Alex to Rudy to Anon to whoever it is that you listen to, anyone, whoever you watch, they influence the market. People go to these guys for advice and they listen. And so when they hear about reprints, prices start dropping, even though we don't even know how big these reprints are going to be, and we haven't seen it yet. So I think this reaction to just word of mouth is kind of immature, I would say. Way too early to be doing this till you see what's going to happen in the market. Clearly, we all want it to drop so that we can just keep buying things up as much as we want. We can open whatever we want, but this is a bit mature on an investment standpoint to be moving this quickly just off of word of mouth without actually seeing what's happening. Nothing's here yet. And once again, the SIR hit a high. Same thing. Like I said, you guys are going to keep seeing this. Well, that's what I've noticed right now. Just dropping. Everybody got hyped up for some of these cards. Some people definitely went up, and then they saw that it peaked. Maybe they saw that they thought it wasn't going to go any higher than that, and they started selling. And sometimes people want to move their money around from one investment to the other. Maybe they thought that they could use the money from the singles to invest into something else. That's another thing to keep in mind. Booster box again. Obsidian Flames trending upward, real strong though. Surprisingly, Surgeon Sparks dipped with the reprints, and you know what's funny? At first, for a while, people were saying that Obsidian Flames was getting reprint, and they were wrong. It's actually not on the list of reprints, so I'll see about that. This card had a little peak, did the same thing, dropped, had a little stagnation here, dropped again. It looks like it's on the way up again, but it's probably gonna stagnate again. Same thing. All these top hits are doing that. That's actually, you know what? If anything, that's another one to, if you want to make a move on a SIR and you want it now, if you want to start to buy it now while it's cheap, this is probably one of the more affordable prices you're going to find it at. And it's a great time to buy it if you want it for your collection. I'm not telling you to try to sit here and make plays and change the market up or whatever you want to call it and pump and drop cars. That's not something I'm for. Stellar Crown. upward, uptrend, and I think Stellar Crown, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Stellar Crown will have a reprint, and this is actually going upward. Like, I don't know why this is not also dipping down because people reacted to the Surging Sparks, and the Surging Sparks is a way better set. I don't really believe in this set too much, to be honest, personally. But I definitely, like, nobody can debate that Surging Sparks is a way better set, and this one did not take a dip. Maybe it's because of the value. Maybe it's because people think that they can afford this one more. Whatever. I don't understand it. Terapagos has been on a huge drop. I mean, I had a high before as well. It was over $100, and it dropped again, and it came up again, and took another dip. Took another huge dip. And yeah, that's it. If you guys were interested into the, let's see the, I spoke about temporal forces. Let's see the SIR. What has it been doing? It did take a huge dip, and it came back up, and now it's really seems like more of an organic price right here, where it's stagnating up and down, up and down. This looks more organic. This looks way more organic. This is probably a decent price for it. Maybe you can wait for it to drop if you feel like you can't afford it, but sometimes waiting really doesn't help. Sometimes it'll just start shooting back up. But that's it for this week's market update. I really wanted to go into this week and just talk about what's happening, because there are things that are actually fluctuating now with Destined Rivals coming, with a lot of talk about reprints, and also these Sword and Shield sets that are no longer getting reprinted. And Sword and Shield sets that aren't getting reprinted, I mean, none of them are. All the Sword and Shield sets, even if they take a dip, like I said before, they're just going to keep rising. So they're great investments. It's also a good time to sell if you really wanted to, because everything's so high. Will it keep going up? Probably. But if you wanted to get some of your money back, if you wanted to just put your money into something else, right now is a good time instead of waiting until that dip, because it is eventually it will drop again and then come back up. But you don't want to wait till the drop, to the bottom falls out, and then you need it, and then now you feel like you should have sold it. If you wanted to sell, I guess this is a good time, I would say. But if you have a long term mindset, yeah, hold. All those Sword and Shield sets are going to be valuable, way more valuable than what they are now. Fusion's going to crack 1,000. Who knows when? We don't know when, but it will. So if you believe in that set like I do, that's why I'm saying that. But yeah, guys, that was fun. I'll see you on a market update for next week. Hopefully we see something changing, maybe in our favor, and we are all happy with what happens. But be ready. Take care, guys.